several third readings today. One of the first one was to enlarge our industrial park, which is a fictitious park that Greenville County and Anderson County share, and we enlarged the park to allow Greenville County to add a bank that is looking to headquarter in the Greenville area. I think Camperdown Way is the actual road. Doing a $24.8 million investment, 227 new jobs. So that'll be good for Greenville County, and plus Anderson County gets to participate a little bit out of the tax revenue generated by those companies moving there. We also had a third reading on First Quality, which was they're adding their 6th line of paper machines or machine, $250 million investment, 60 jobs. Since they came in, I think their first fee in lieu agreement, they've exceeded all expectations. There are currently 950 employees out there, and they're looking to break 1,000 employees very soon. We also had a couple of third readings, two that I kind of joined together, two properties off of Fance Grove and 187. There was a 30-acre tract and approximately 4.5, 5-acre tract that was R20 that is currently being used by the property owners as an agricultural or farmland, and to kind of stay in guidance with what they're actually doing with their property, they requested to change from R20 to RA, which is agriculture. The third reading went through that today, so that's complete. We also, third reading, which I'd mentioned in prior interviews with you, was to add 150 foot of road and a subdivision to the Anderson County roads that was pretty much neglected or forgot to be added in. We also had a report from the Land Use Ad Hoc Committee. There are several interesting things going on there. This is for zoned areas, unzoned areas with sewer. Minimum lot size requirements, setback requirements, side requirements on the lots, and that we had second reading on that today, but there will be another ad hoc committee meeting. The public's welcome to attend. Reach out to Lacey Kroger, the clerk of council, if anyone would like to attend, and we'll start finalizing all the details on there. We have a preliminary or rough outline now that I think will solve some issues with stormwater, safety issues, allowing fire trucks, EMS, things of that nature to have better accessibility to these neighborhoods. But like I said, that was second reading, and there will be one more ad hoc committee meeting to iron out and finalize all the details. Second reading today, we had several second readings. Two were a 2.28 acre or 2.8 acre tract and a like 0.87 acre tract off of 187 in Jackson Circle. Corner properties there that was residential that requested to be switched to C3 industrial or C3 commercial, and the properties surrounding that are already C3. The properties surrounding these particular properties are two individual owners, but they own the properties around each one. So that went through second reading, no problem. There was also an ordinance to, again, setbacks on roads, which right now I think it's 20 feet, and we're discussing and talking, which I mentioned prior, on some setback changes. They're looking at possibly doing 30 feet, and that will be taken up in the ad hoc committee. Second reading also today was the use of driveway aprons, the terracotta or concrete pipe that they use. We're looking to allow a plastic or composite drainage pipe for under driveways or driveway aprons, which the SCDOT allows now. We're just trying to keep everything in the same format with DOT, so that will be a good thing for developers and homeowners that actually reduce cost and be just as strong and as efficient. There was a little an ordinance to kind of clean up the books on ordinances. There was also an ordinance on the to allow county council to make changes on the ordinances without having to go to the planning commission, and that basically is just allow the changes to not actually implement the changes. They will have to be approved through the planning committee or planning commission, but it will allow us to recommend those changes, vote on allowing those changes to go before the planning commission, and that will save a lot of time and expedite things. And like I think Chairman Dunn said, you know, we're the elected officials to represent our districts. We're the ones that's going to get the praise or the negative comments towards us, and it allows us to use what we have for what our constituents want, and to actually put that in the form of an ordinance that then would be voted on by the planning commission. First readings, there was fee in lieu agreement with a project. I think it was Tarpon at the time was the code name for it, but it's a solar farm that we had done back in 2019. The farm, I think it was generating $680 in taxes, and now I think it's going to do over $29,000 a year in taxes. And the reason it had to come back before us was the amount of solar panels and the revenue that the county will be receiving in taxes is the same, but they used a little smaller or less property than they were anticipating, and that just allowed us to clean up that fee in lieu agreement. Okay. We also had bid approval on 3 5-yard compactors for our convenience centers, and that was for a total of $146,000 on 3 of them, which is well needed, especially during COVID with the influx in materials going to our landfill. So that'll be hopefully that'll help out and get us where we need to be. We also approved a bid to tear down the east wing on the old McCants building that's in disarray and falling down. It was actually a 2-bid process. One was the tearing down of it, and the second portion of it was to haul off and dump all the debris, and that was coming out of our capital projects, which was already budgeted for, and it was approximately $142,000. We also had a few transfers from the finance department. I call it bookkeeping, and it was basically just switching some funds from one account to another. A prime example is the election committee or the elections office and voter registration had received a grant, and they used that grant to purchase office supplies and other things, but that money has to come from one account and be switched over into another. Governmental accounting is a lot different than private accounting, so just a few bookkeeping things. After that, we went into an executive session on some legal advice from our county attorney, which was a client attorney privileged information that we discussed. After executive session, we came back in, had no request from council members. There was a request from the town of Star to receive some funding to help pave one of their main roads down there, and that was voted on unanimously to help those guys down there. And that pretty much summed up today's meeting, and I appreciate everyone, and if we can do anything for you, reach out to us. I'd also like to remind everyone that our next council meeting is going back on regular schedule. It will be at 6 o'clock here at the Civic Center. Supposedly we will have no more 12 o'clock meetings, so look on the county schedule and come on out and let your voice be heard.